Welcome to Dungeon Master. This episode is on the cassette tape that turns to video, that recreates the digital moment that we are all shuddering for. Even the camera shudders before us as we reach Dungeon Master 32. We scope out a few home base into the painting mode, and that's what we do precisely. So we follow it in, and there is a commercial. Please buy what she's selling right now, and then we'll all go home happy. This is it. This is the moment they've all been waiting for. The music has been provided by KMSA 91.3, which is a programmed station that I absolutely am an underwriter for, but I only support them in what they want to do, and how they want to do it is all left up to the station manager, and that's usually an undergraduate or graduate student, and the professor only manages to his knowledge, his needs, and the students run the station otherwise integrally throughout and in executive command. Now, I said all that with strange things playing on the monitor, but have we not realized that this could be folly for us who have tended to go by in a haunted season of now wanting the map? So, the map is going to fade for us in a different way now, because before we were trapped in the lodgings of the things that were going wrong. Now we're here among the Revenant King, and if I remember the Revenant correctly, it's where DiCaprio rode his horse off a building, and this looks like a band that's playing a song. They're not playing the song that's on the radio, but they're very clever in the way they design this video, like they're stuck in the snow. Well, back we go down the trail. Don't you know, we had the setup there, and we got fluked into the first mission. So now let us play among the Dungeon Master guides, of which we can maybe make sense out of. We will play here. This is another one that does not allow us but anything but the speech inherent. We are brewed in a contemporary vortex of what we must do to get back to the poker game of a lifetime. And if there's games, then let the games begin, because there's games we could play, and there's games we're going to learn from. It's not to build. I would go down that road, but we've been there. Well, we could build a lair. That looks really interesting. This is the one I think I remember that I was trying to show you in the first place. So don't get me wrong. We're off to a lofty start. We've done what we can to get you there. And we're here to go into Dungeon Master any way you so choose. And notice I'm not exactly choosing except to go forward in narrative, which we must. So now we have only the radio for our distraction of guided versions to what to do in Dungeon Master mode when playing from the Nahokin, or a dungeon such as this. A dungeon such as this is complex to imagine how it's built throughout by even the Dungeon Master, and I think you'll see what I mean if you follow me into this vortex that finally is the version of Dungeon Master I had all along wanted to show you. That this version of Dungeon Master is the actual episode 32, and the rest of it was a boot up to this. I'm sorry I didn't mention, and here we go. Because around the mulberry bush and through the hill, we're going to find some little cherry stumps that are going to bring home some cherries, and when we bring home cherries, we bring home the best, and we love to fight lightning storms and dig around and find weird portals into things and search for treasure, and it's so great. But you must remember that the things that are the greatest about a game like this, not just that you can hop and look at all your stats, and I love stats, and look at all these important stats, and how did we get here? This is Dungeon Master Heaven, and the fact that it's actually moving. We had a whole episode with no moving cards, and I thought we were there, but we found it through the context of all the other games. The game we were actually trying to play. Oh, when you own so many Dungeon Masters and haven't played the Amsterdam one for real, you'll know that even the Chinese Dungeon Master's a little different. And Dungeon Master is different in every country. The version in every country, Dungeon Master is different. I just want to tell you this fire on the wall is getting a little pesky. Trying to avoid it, but it's in the camera's way, so I can't really help it. Anyways, but these are... excuse me, warrior. It's my turn. I'm the Dungeon Master. And I say we look at these pilgrims down here and this escaped wizard over here, and do you ever go up with this eyepiece? If the eyepiece were up, we'd see what kind of a game we were up against. And that in the long haul, we would have plenty of time to shift. So we must shift time. For this is only the beginning, and now we recreate in that fantastic moment where everything knows what's happening all along, and we're further in the game. That we're not so far in the game that we can't play this one out and make it a great championship of Dungeon Master skills is not impossible. But will you follow me on this confusing final episode, not of Dungeon Master, but of this game of Dungeon Master? We are now 3/4 along, and every move counts, and you can see the hand in the middle has made every move count, and he's directing everything to happen according to plan. Yes, Corpse Bride Tim Burton, that's right, according to plan. He's putting it together. He's giving him health. He's raising his warriors. He's raising his Dungeon Master skills. He's bidding on war heroes. He's also casting light on the subject matter and putting dark where there needs to be dark and light. And his hand quizzically moves it all, and it's the hand of God who is playing this game. And only us can know how it's gotten so electronic and things are so paved for a future class of brave men. And that these brave men do what they can all together to be the bravest is not just why I'm informing you that these quite things are happening. Dungeon Master would like to insert tape B. Dungeon Master side B inserted. Dungeon Master was cut off at the end of that statement. Welcome to side B, and I don't really have much more to report for you, except this became a weird Risk, Capture the Flag, and Tetris mix, this game. And that it's still somehow a role-playing game at all. It's Dungeon Keeper, not Dungeon Master, which means that it's Dungeon Keeper. I'll be right there. My cab is here. I don't know what's going on. Oh, my dad is here. Oh. All right, Dungeon Masters. Tune in next time for more Dungeon Master. I'll be right back.